Namaste, I'm Ruchira. I'm the founder of Apne Aap, which is hosting today's event. I'm here with my friend Mona Sinha, who's on the advisory board of Apne Aap and a longtime friend and supporter.
Namaste. It is so nice to see you all today. Times have changed, and in 2021, Apne Aap still works hard to support the last girl. In these past 18 months, we have pivoted to supporting the very basic needs of women and children who, as you know, have been unjustly impacted by this pandemic. And Ruchira and her team in India have distributed over 15 million meals. Yes, that's right, 15 million meals to vulnerable women and girls. And we dedicate this gala this year to the last girl and to food justice. So welcome. We hope you enjoy today's program.
Welcome from all of us at Apne Aap, and we hope that you understand and listen to some of the issues that concern the last girl today. You see some champions for the last girl. I want to specially mention the people we are honoring tonight: Ambassador Swanee Hunt, Professor Catharine Mackinnon, Chef Floyd Cardoz, survivor author Grizelda Grootboom, and Basu Ratnam, a food entrepreneur. All these people, through these tough times in the last 18 months, have worked hard to stand by the most vulnerable girls and women in their own fields and their own spheres. Of course, Swanee and Professor Mackinnon have worked all their lives to end sex trafficking, as is Grizelda, who herself was a victim. Chef Cardoz is no more with us because he died of COVID last year, but his wife, Barkha, continued to do food justice work through the restaurants and people he knew. And Basu Ratnam, who himself is a social entrepreneur and a food justice entrepreneur, has a chain called INDAY, which not only provides Ayurvedic meals at home, but he used his networks in the food industry to mobilize food and oxygen for those suffering from COVID in India. So our evening today will honor them. It will also have remarks by Gloria Steinem, our friend, our well-wisher, our guide, who we treasure so much. And we will have her with us. We also have songs by Zila Khan, the daughter of Vilayat Khan, who's prepared 2 songs specially for us. She will continue to sing in the after party if you stay on. And we have a very historic and unique conversation between Ashley Judd and Professor Mackinnon on the connection between sexual harassment, sex trafficking, and Me Too. You will hear some words of wisdom, and they will share the insights, which possibly we will carry with us for the next decade, just as we have carried Catherine's learnings and Ashley's advocacy with us all through these years and have improved our own lives and the lives of others. So thank you for joining us. Do stay tuned. Do join in. You can ask questions on the chat as you go along. We will try to answer. Donate to our cause. It is to provide food to victims of sex trafficking and their children in India who have been terribly impacted by the COVID pandemic. We value you. We value your support. This evening is also to honor you as much as to support the last girl. Welcome and thank you, everyone. Namaste.
Thank you, Ruchira. As you know, the challenging times still continue. India is on a path to recovery, but we are nowhere near where we need to be. And we have to continue to support the last girls. Thank the champions that we are honoring today for their work, for their inspiration, and for their courage to keep us on this path. The last girl, as you know, is the most marginalized girl. And we have also realized that by supporting her family, by making sure that her community is well cared for, they in turn will care for her. So please be generous, support Apne Aap. There's a donate button that you will find, or there are very many ways in which you can donate. You can also participate in the auctions that we have today. We have a silent auction that's going to be around for a little bit longer. So there's some fun things in there for you, and also a few really interesting and extraordinary items that we're going to live auction. So please be generous, bid high, support the work so that we can go from 15 million meals to perhaps 50 million meals. And you can feel like you are a small part of this very large wave of change that needs to happen in our work and that we can do together. Thank you for being here. We value you. We're grateful you've taken the time to be here to support Ruchira, to support India, to support the last girl and her community. And we look forward to a long and healthy relationship with each one of you into the future. Thank you again for being here. Namaste.
A big shout out as we hand over the program now to Reshma Shetty, actress and longtime supporter of Apne Aap, who is going to MC the evening, is to Reshma for giving her time. Also, to all the people who have sponsored the evening, those who have donated meals as auction items for the evening. There is Barbar, there is Indian Accent, and there are more. You will hear about them as we go along in the evening. But I just wanted to mention that we've begun with people from the food industry supporting our 1 million meals. And also, I want to give a shout out to people like Dorchen Leidholt, Rosanna Arquette, who have created messages to honor our awardees and who have been big time supporters through these tough 18 months and more for Apne Aap. Big shout out to all of you and welcome to the Apne Aap program and Apne Aap family.
Hi, my name is Anika. I'm a student volunteer at Apne Aap, and today I'm here with Ishita Panwar, a student volunteer from Ahmedabad University. We're going to be presenting on the impact created by Apne Aap's 1 Million Meals initiative. The report was written both quantitatively and qualitatively to analyze the results of Apne Aap's 1 Million Meals, and today we'll be presenting on the most important points. So for a little bit of background on how hashtag 1 Million Meals was initiated, it started in response to a WhatsApp message that Ruchira received from a girl who had been sent home from school to the red light areas when the lockdown started. Her mom, who was transitioning to daily wage work, lost all income, and this cry for help, among many others, is what initiated the 1 Million Meals project. So this started as a stopgap till government systems were set in place to address food insecurity, but these systems are yet to be set in place, and Apne Aap has continued with 1 Million Meals for over 18 months. So starting with around 800 families on March of 2020, we have scaled now to 123,000 families as of June of 2021. This has amounted to about 12.3 million meals as of June of 2021. So now I'd look into the model that has helped the 1 Million Meals campaign both scale and sustain. It's been the human change. So starting at the top with Apne Aap's leadership and Ruchira Gupta, with many links along the way, including celebrities, donors, shopkeepers, student volunteers, NGOs, and then all the way down to every last girl, which is the beneficiaries. Now for a closer look into one of the links of our chain, we have the NGOs supported by Apne Aap. So Apne Aap has supported around 27 NGOs all over India through the 1 Million Meals campaign, and this has helped them reach the most vulnerable communities. Now for a more concrete look into when we were reaching these beneficiaries. So in June of 2020, we reached around 75,000 beneficiaries, and this was when the first wave of the COVID virus was at its peak in India. Now, if we take a look into 2021, in June, we reached 150,000 beneficiaries, and this is once again when COVID was at its peak. So for a breakdown of these beneficiaries, about 0.15 million were women and about 250,000 were children. Now, if we take a look at the meals distributed, so we distributed around 12.32 million meals as of June of 2021, and that amounts to about 123,000 ration kits, and the largest amount was going to both West Bengal, Delhi, and Haryana. I'm now going to pass it off to Ishita to continue with our numerical impact and to give us a look into some of our government recommendations.
Yes, sure. So there are many women in India who still use cloth and consider using it safe. So Apne Aap has done a great job to reaching out to many states and distributing sanitary pads, which amounted to 0.25 million in total. And these were distributed between March 2020 to June 2021 in some of these states, as you can see in the graph. And here we see is the pie chart showcasing the impact on children that Apne Aap has had and how many children it reached out to. Because many children have been abandoned by their parents in the red light areas. Along with this, there was very little government support that they received. Also, not just this, but they did not have the required resources to continue their education. Hence, they were in a very vulnerable state. And here, as we see, is the pictorial representation of what a single ration kit comprises. It has 12 very basic yet essential items. And now we come to the government recommendations owing to the COVID-19. First is to re-establish affordable and accessible decentralized healthcare systems to ensure that migrant populations and informal sector workers are included in the national and regional post-pandemic recovery measures. Second we have is that government should really tie up with the NGOs and local retailers and wholesalers. So this would provide for a faster network of food distribution. Third we have is the implementation of new fiscal policies. We can take up examples of countries like the US, Australia, and China, where they have implemented the policies that had fiscal measures to help the vulnerable, to financially support actually. And also they had conducted efficient vaccination drives. Fourth, we have is providing economic stimulus and unemployment benefits to people who are daily wage earners. Next up, we have to empower the essential workers like nurses, doctors, and PHCs, and providing them with adequate healthcare supplies so that they could further on help people. Next up, we have COVID-19 awareness campaigns in multiple languages and through various mediums like radio announcements, televisions, etc. This would actually sensitize people about the effects of COVID-19, and they would henceforth take the preventive measures. Next, appropriate channels must be intended to guarantee that passes, food collection, and donations are distributed and made available to beneficiaries. Last but not the least, childcare services must be empowered to help vulnerable children. Here, as you can see, we have some quotes that reflect how happy and grateful the beneficiaries are for the help extended by Apne Aap. Apart from food and nutrition, the organization has tremendously helped children with getting access to education. So here we have is a senior-most student from her community. She says that the organization helped her get a hostel facility, got her enrolled in the school, and helped her with the groceries and rent. Next we have is Mr. Rahman, who works as a street magician. So COVID-19 affected not just him, but all the families in his community. But he's very grateful for the help extended by Ruchira ma'am and her team in this difficult time. Thank you very much, all of you present here, for being a keen listener to our presentation. We will be very soon releasing the in-depth report of the impact that Apne Aap has had on various beneficiaries. So stay tuned.
Hello and good evening. My name is Reshma Shetty, and it's my honor to host tonight's event. Each year, Apne Aap honors global leaders who have championed the cause of the most vulnerable girls at risk to sex trafficking with the Last Girl Awards. These are global leaders who apply their time, money, skills, and networks to stand by the last girl with courage, passion, and commitment. This year's 5 incredible recipients have done exactly that. Apne Aap focuses on the last girl because she is the most vulnerable of human beings. She might be the 12-year-old in a brothel in India, or the 19-year-old shivering at a street corner in the US. She is poor, female, teenager, most often from an oppressed caste, race, religion, or ethnicity. Her multiple marginalizations make her the easiest prey to traffickers and cut her off from housing, legal protection, sustainable and dignified livelihoods, and food. This year's awards bring to the forefront the issue of food justice. For so many, the COVID-19 pandemic has made food and basic hygiene supplies even more difficult to attain. So, in addition to the tremendous advocates for the last girl, tonight we also honor contributors to food justice. Now, on behalf of Apne Aap's host committee members, I'd like to welcome Rosanna Arquette, Ashley Judd, Taina Bian Ame, Vinita Belani, and Nandana Sen, who will be introducing tonight's 5 recipients of the Last Girl Awards.
Good evening. My name is Taina Biename, and it is an honor to celebrate tonight both Apne Aap International's extraordinary work and the Last Girl awardees. South African President and human rights visionary Nelson Mandela once said that for every woman and girl violently attacked, we reduce our humanity and that freedom cannot be achieved unless women have been emancipated from all forms of oppression. Grizelda Grootboom, our next honoree, also from South Africa, was in President Mandela's heart when he spoke those words. Abandoned by family and society, living on the streets as a child, a survivor of gang rape before she turned 10, Grizelda personifies the last girl. A girl forgotten who was later sex trafficked at 18 years old and suffered the unimaginable in brothels spreading from Johannesburg to Cape Town. By miracle and by force of nature, Grizelda survived and is now one of the fiercest, most brilliant survivor leaders globally. Anyone who has just spent a few minutes with Grizelda will be swept up by her laugh and her beauty. She is fearless and brilliant, with a passionate determination to persuade anyone and everyone, from parliamentarians to the UN General Assembly, from school children to the ANC, that we must change laws and policies and our mentalities to ensure that no man is ever again allowed to purchase another human being for his sexual pleasure and for the profit of the sex trade. On behalf of Apne Aap and everyone in our movement seeking justice and equality for women and girls, I am thrilled to present the Last Girl Award to an extraordinary survivor leader whom I would follow anywhere, Grizelda Grootboom. Congratulations, Grizelda, and thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Apne Aap, I would like to say thank you again for choosing me this year on your Last Girl Award. This really speaks to my heart as a woman that comes from Khayelitsha, the township that has the highest ever rates of gender-based violence, and from the township. And this proves that you really are focusing on the last girl that comes out of poverty, vulnerability, that can't even go to school because of certain systems of patriarchy. So thank you so much. I'm so inspired. I'm looking forward to the next couple of years of my life. I literally did look up what a humanitarian award means, and I am honored. Those things, I didn't even think I had them, but this is what pushes me to go further, to help other girls through Survivor Exit Foundation. Thank you very much once again, Apne.
Hi everyone, happy International Day of the Girl. I'm Nandana Sen, and I'm delighted to celebrate with you the inspiring work of all our awardees and the path-breaking mission and accomplishments of Apne Aap International. I'm deeply honored to introduce to you the winner of the Last Girl Champion Award, Floyd Cardoz, who exemplifies the extraordinary achievements, determination and largesse of the pioneers and leaders we are applauding today. Yes, I'm deeply honored but also profoundly saddened that Floyd is no longer with us. That this huge talent, matched only by his equally huge heart, was snatched from us last year by COVID-19. Born in Mumbai and named one of the 50 most influential global Indians by GQ magazine, Floyd was a beloved chef, author, and philanthropist. He was the force behind and in front of outstanding New York restaurants such as Pawwala and Tabla. When he won Top Chef Masters in Season 3, Floyd donated the entire prize money to charity to fund the Young Scientist Foundation, which is now overseen by his wife Barkha. Today, I feel so privileged to present Floyd's award to his soulmate and business partner, Barkha Cardoz, who has continued Floyd's humanitarian commitment and honors his memory by her tireless COVID relief work in food distribution. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Floyd and Barkha Cardoz.
Basu Belani. I am the founding artistic director of Enact Arts. I am very honored to have joined Apne Aap this year as an advisory board member. I am totally in awe of everything that Ruchira and Apne Aap do. This evening, I have the great pleasure of presenting the Last Girl Corporate Inspiration Award to Basu Ratnam. Basu Ratnam is the founder and the CEO of INDAY. INDAY is a group of 3 Indian and Ayurvedic-inspired restaurants in New York City. During the worst of the pandemic, Basu Ratnam mobilized the catering community of New York to support the food and the oxygen needs of the most vulnerable population of India in its worst moments of COVID. INDAY is also a food brand that provides Ayurvedic-based casual meals, and Basu Ratnam used all his networks and his goodwill to generate funds for direct COVID support. Basu, we applaud all your efforts, and on behalf of Apne Aap, please accept the Last Girl Corporate Inspiration Award.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Basu Ratnam. I'm the founder of INDAY Restaurant Group in New York City. I'm so honored and humbled to receive the Last Girl Corporate Leadership Award on the eve of International Day of the Girl. I want to thank and acknowledge Ruchira and the rest of the Apne Aap leadership team, its board, and community for including me in this incredibly special and meaningful moment and for honoring the work that we've done. These are strange and difficult times for so many of us, and as an Indian American, I felt particularly affected by the deathly meals and direct aid for victims of the virus. I bring this up not to talk about our achievements, but to say that a small group of people with a community and the instant connection of social media can make a really meaningful and lasting change. Though the media attention has moved away from all the challenges facing India right now, there are so many people who are still locked in situations of despair and exploitation. And as it goes, suffering is often borne the most by people who are least able to protect themselves. When young women and children aren't afforded basic life essentials, the pressure and holes in the safety net make them ripe for exploitation. I'm so grateful for the work that Apne Aap has done during this incredibly difficult time to lift up women and children who didn't have the resources to take care of themselves. I commend you guys for the 15 million meals you've distributed across over 500,000 Indians. That is a mind-boggling statistic that isn't a function just of aid, but of creating a complex human chain of small business owners, farmers, distributors, community leaders, and student aid volunteers. In supporting this organization, you're not just feeding and protecting young women, you are also supporting a network of people who are working towards a fairer and more equitable society. I hope that with this work, we can one day realize Apne Aap's goal of living in a world that is free of the trafficking of young women. I hope we can all do our part to support these efforts because as the largest and most complex democracy in the history of our people, as India goes, so does the world. Thank you, God bless, and may you enjoy the rest of tonight's programming.
Good evening. I'm Ashley Judd, and tonight it is both my distinguished honor and pleasure to help recognize the great Catharine Mackinnon as one of our honorees, as well as to be in conversation with her. Catharine Mackinnon is a pioneer and legend in the legal system. She has worked to make sexual harassment known as a violation of equality rights, and she has pioneered the legal claim of sexual harassment. Catharine Mackinnon is an ally to the girls and women who need her most, from Bosnia and more recently to Afghanistan. She is the Elizabeth A. Long Distinguished Professor at the University of Michigan Law School, and much to my delight, visiting professor at Harvard Law School, because that's where I get to see her. And tonight we honor her with Apne Aap's Last Girl Lifetime Cultural Change Award. Professor Mackinnon, congratulations and thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am inspired by receiving this truly great honor from this magnificent organization, and in particular, by the chance it gives me to honor Apne Aap and all the women and some men who work in it and with it. I'm sure that most of you listening to this know that a lot of entities claim empowerment as a goal, but actually very few know how to do it. Apne Aap does, by giving sex-trafficked and prostituted women real options, real choices. Women and girls who know, from my contact with them, know the life that they want. And it is not a life being sex trafficked. It is not a life in prostitution. What Apne Aap shows is that organizing is service. A lot of organizations think of service in the humanitarian sense and actually don't get anywhere near as much done as Apne Aap does. In particular, in the world, Apne Aap embodies a very special meaning of the term satyagraha in life. This term, of course, means nonviolent action, but it means holding on to the truth. And what I've learned from working with Apne Aap is that it actually means that in its lived form with Apne Aap, power that is born of truth. So that's my inspiration, the inspiration that Apne Aap has given to me. Just as a very small personal part, I would add to this on my own path. The poet Antonio Machado has a beautiful poem. It's in Spanish. I'm just going to read you 4 lines of it in Spanish, and then I'll tell you what it means. Caminante no hay camino. No se hace camino. Se hace camino al andar. Caminante no hay camino, sino estelas en el mar. What this means is, traveler, there is no road. You make the road as you travel it. Traveler, there is no path. You make that path as you walk it. All there is what you see as you look, the path you see as you look back, like the wake that a ship forms as it goes across the ocean. You know, this is what I see at this moment, looking at Apne Aap's place in my own path. It has been a major part in the path that I've been privileged to make as I have walked it. Not because there was a path there, but because we walked that path together. And today we look back and see shining behind us the sparkles of the wake that Apne Aap has made and that I have been privileged and honored to be part of. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rosanna Arquette, and it is my pleasure to introduce Ambassador Swanee Hunt and present her with our Last Girl Lifetime Leadership Award. Swanee Hunt has spent over 3 decades working in advance social change at local and global levels. In particular, her work to combat sex trafficking and promote women leaders has affected change in more than 60 countries. Apne Aap is proud to have her as an ally in our collective fight against sex trafficking and prostitution. Swanee Hunt is a photographer, a writer, a grandmother, and so much more. Her intellect reaches far and wide, and her compassion continues to touch so many lives. It's my honor to present Swanee Hunt with the Apne Aap's Last Girl Lifetime Leadership Award. Thank you so much, Swanee. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you for this honor. And it means a lot to me. I was thinking about what Maggie Thatcher said, don't be humble, you're not that great. And so I was thinking, this gorgeous, gorgeous room, how can I be sitting here and talking about the kind of horrors that we're here to talk about tonight. And then I remembered survivors who've said to me how much it means to them to know that they belong here in a place like this when they come over for dinner with me. And so I'll tell you also, I was in Vienna as US ambassador, and it was 5 years after the fall of the wall in Berlin. And I made 22 trips throughout Central Europe and Eastern Europe, meeting with groups of women to say, in this new democracy, what are the biggest problems you have? And one of the women said to me, our girls are disappearing from our villages. And I'm a mother, and it broke my heart. So when I came back to the United States, I decided I have to do something. I have to do something about this. And I looked at different models of what to do. I went to Norway, I went to Sweden, and I realized if you're going to stop an abuse, you have to stop the abuser. And so for me, this is a matter of stopping the buyers. So I saw this eventually then, even beyond that, as this is a white on black brown kind of issue. It's a racial justice issue because it's a way disproportionate number of black and brown girls who are lured into this net. And besides that, and I've loved far too many men in my life, okay? But this is very much about male entitlement. And I was in the streets with Hillary Clinton. We were following in the steps of Gloria Steinem in different cities, but we were all there together. And I think about how bonded we were and how bonded the people are, men and women, as we work on this together. And in walks Ruchira Gupta. And wow, it's like this sense of hope, this sense of joy in her, this sense of purpose. And she is known throughout the world, and she's admired around the world. And so I'm one of the people who not only knows her, but admires her. And Ruchira, I'll follow you anywhere.
I got a message from 15-year-old Varsha asking for food and rent money again. She is a girl that we are sponsoring in a boarding school, a daughter of a prostituted woman. It felt like deja vu again, because just a year ago on March 26th, I had got the same message from Varsha from a red light area where she had been sent back to because of the COVID lockdown from her school, saying she needed help with food and with any kind of safety because her mother had abandoned her and left her in the red light area, unable to provide food or anything for the children. And these two children could not stay in the boarding school that my NGO Apne Aap was sponsoring because the government had shut down all schools. And these kids were in a red light area with no food, no computers, no Wi Fi, no ability to be able to continue the education or even survive. So last year, for the whole year, I made sure that they were able to rent a room outside the red light area, had Wi Fi access, and got a constant supply of food and other necessities. The COVID second wave has hit India in a big way, and people are dying, people are getting infected, and schools shut down again. Varsha and her little sister Aarti are back in the red light area. Their mother, Hurbai, only met them twice the whole year because she could not cope with all the expectations when she had nothing. She simply left them in the red light area and ran away. These girls are scared. Last year, they had huge plans. Varsha wanted to go to college, and her younger sister was thinking about becoming a nurse, and they were doing well in school, playing basketball, learning French, all of that. On 3rd of December, 2019, Varsha, her younger sister, and two of her other friends who we are sponsoring in a school outside the red light area met with the Queen of Sweden. They were dressed in the nice school uniforms. They were talking to the Queen in English. They were confident. They were asking questions of the Queen. And their future seemed so bright. The Queen had invited them to Sweden. And just 2 months later, they were out of a school, they were homeless, they had no access to education because they had no computers and Wi Fi connections, and they were just worried about food. Then this year in March, we were hopeful again because they went back to school and again they were with their friends. They had a library, they had computers, they had a playing ground. They were not scared of male predators who would come and try to sexually assault them or buy them. And again, the schools are closed, and again, they are trying to hide safely in a room outside the red light area and study and somehow find a way to have enough qualifications to get a job to stand on their own 2 feet. Today, Varsha's message was accompanied by another message saying, I don't want to go to college. Class 12 exams are postponed. I can't wait around. I have to earn a living now to look after myself and my sister. So I am thinking of becoming a beautician. I'm going to take courses to work in a beauty parlor or open my beauty parlor. She has abandoned her college plans. She wants to earn an income right away, and she's thinking about an option which could be equally dangerous because we know what happens in beauty parlors and massage parlors. When the government does not take proper action, it impacts on individual lives, the lives of the last girl in such a devastating way, because the government treated COVID as a law and order problem rather than a public health problem. They just put the police out on the streets who were beating up migrants and other daily wage earners for getting out. Shops were closed, buses, taxis, trains, flights were closed down. And nothing was done to invest in more hospital beds, increase manufacture of vaccines, help essential workers with more training, onboard more paramedics, so that, as the pandemic unfolded, there would be a scientific and health response to it. And today, the second wave of COVID has hit India. And we can see the failure of leadership, what it's led to. More and more people are infected. Hospitals don't have beds. Crematoriums are full. Vaccines are in short supply. New strains have erupted. And yet there are people who will not wear masks, and large gatherings are there. Just recently, there was a religious festival on the banks of the Ganga in a festival called the Kumbh Mela, where 25 lakh people gathered without masks, dipping into the Ganga. And now they are all taking trains and buses back home. God knows how many people they will infect and how many they have already infected. In India, lockdown meant curfew, it meant shutdown, and that has not helped at all. I work with victims of sex trafficking and their children, and I'm really worried about these 13-year-old girls trapped in red light areas with no food. Possibly the future is eviction from the rooms they live in, no possibility of any safety, shelter, no access to online education that we talk about. And 2 years means a lot in the life of someone who's 13 years. So I really have a question to the government. What are they doing for this 13-year-old, this 15-year-old who's sent back from school into a red light area? I am so pleased today to introduce to you Gloria Steinem, friend, philosopher, guide. I met her in 2007 when she said that she was coming to India and wanted to meet up with me to see my work. I thought, is that really an email from Gloria Steinem? Can it be that she wants to come and see my work? I was excited. I was a little bit scared. What would I show her? I put her in an auto rickshaw and took her to a slum in New Delhi, where there were a group of about 20 women standing in the rain, waiting to listen in an alley. We stood on the steps of the house of one woman, and Gloria spoke to them in English. I translated, and Gloria spoke to them about an abortion that she'd had as a young woman and how she did not speak about it for a long time, but when she began to speak about it, she found circles and circles of female friends who came forward to share their truth. And Gloria taught me something in that moment, that when you shared your truth, people will join you. And at that time, I thought, it's kind of banal, but I saw the magic in the way the women stood and began to connect with Gloria because it was something universal and common. With Gloria, since then, I have shared many adventures, many journeys, walked the path, as Kitty said today, paths that were unknown to me, perhaps known to her in her wisdom, and made many more friends, from Kitty to Swanee to Grizelda to Basu, and now Chef Cardoz, his wife Barkha, who have joined in. Taina, who spoke in the beginning to introduce Grizelda, Dorchin, who is here watching and listening in, Jessica, who is also listening in, and Diane, who's here, Ashley, all these friends who have formed a bigger and bigger circle, reaching out to the corners of red light areas in Sonagachi, in Calcutta, and Forbesganj. I'm so pleased to be part of your circle, and it's all thanks to Gloria, who taught me the power of the circle, the power of feminist friendships, the power of honoring each other with the truth, and also the most important wisdom that Gloria shared with me was that it doesn't matter what you do it as if it matters, and only time will show whether it's big or small. And today, Gloria, as I'm about to ask you to speak a few words for Apne Aap and for the Last Girl Champions, your words have proven true again and again. Only time proves whether something is big or small, but we have to do it as if it matters. And truth above all, change begins at the bottom and transforms the top. So with these words, I want to introduce Gloria Steinem to our evening and to all of you.
Long ago, when I was first graduating from college, we're talking about the 1950s, I went to India and lived there for 2 years. Ever since then, it has been my second home, the source of family, friends, and the place of energy for me, because I came to know both how necessary it was and how effective organizations like Apne Aap are. Apne Aap is a crucial, life-giving organization that I have known since its very beginning by Ruchira Gupta, that I vouch for, that I value for its helpfulness, its life-saving helpfulness to girls, especially in India and also worldwide. I'm glad to be here today celebrating the work of my friend Ruchira Gupta and the great efforts here in India, around the world, to make sure that every last girl is safe, educated, and prospering. So first, I want to congratulate the last 5 girls awardees, Ambassador Swanee Hunt, Professor Catharine Mackinnon, survivor author Grizelda Grootboom, INDAY founder Basu Ratnam, and Chef Floyd Cardoz in supporting our struggle against sex trafficking, the world danger and shame of sex trafficking. We all need to join in this struggle because girls are in need everywhere, and sex trafficking is some part of every culture if we know where to look for it. And unfortunately, in many cultures, it is much, much too obvious and in front of our eyes every day. I believe in Apne Aap because I have known this organization since it began, and its founder, Ruchira Gupta, is a dear friend, a colleague, and a lifetime worker on welfare for girls and women everywhere. I vouch for Apne Aap, I vouch for Ruchira Gupta, and for this program. This is a call to action, asking everyone to join our cause, especially now in the era of COVID, by contributing to 1 million meals, by donating to apneaap.org, and you can go to its website and discover all the information about it and how to contribute. In other years, we have been able to have an in-person Apne Aap benefit. This year is different for all of us, but it is not different for the young girls who are in need of help, of food, and safety. This is a call to action because we can now promise the effectiveness of your contribution to 1 million meals. It's an effort to turn your donations, your worldwide donations, into help for young women and women everywhere. And if you go to the apneaap.org website, you will find all the information and inspiration you need. That's capital APNE, capital AAP.org. That is the important website.
Congratulations once again to tonight's honorees. We are truly inspired by your courage, commitment, and leadership. Now I'd like to turn it over to the founder and president of the Pacific Auction Company, Stevie G.
Namaste. Thank you, Reshma. This is Stevie G live with Apne Aap, and it is so wonderful to be with you tonight making history. I am truly delighted and honored to serve as your auctioneer for this critically urgent and truly historic event. For the last several years, we have come together live at our annual gathering, and we have embraced each other, and we have toasted the amazing work of Apne Aap. And of course, this is the first time that we're doing so in the virtual environment. So I hope that you have taken us up on our invitation to sit back in your most comfy clothes. Hopefully you have a glass of wine or your favorite libation in hand. And with everything going on in our world right now, so many things that need our time and need our attention, I just find it really incredible and awesome that you are here tonight supporting Apne Aap and truly trailblazing a path to make sure that every last girl is safe, educated, fed, and prospering. Truly awesome. Here's what's coming your way for the remainder of our event. Wow, there's been so much inspiration already. Just what an honor to be with so many outstanding leaders that are part of this event. But still to come, we have a truly historic keynote conversation with Ashley Judd and Catharine Mackinnon. We are going to kind of switch gears and bring a little levity to our affair. We're going to play a fundraising game that will be called The Last Virtual Heroine. And we will be crowning, as part of our game, the king or queen of our Apne Aap virtual fundraiser. But of course, no crowning would be complete without a grand prize too. So you'll be pledging towards winning a really, really wonderful gift. There is a silent auction that is informally underway, but tonight will mark our official launch, and we'll get that underway before the end of the evening. There's going to be a Zoom afterglow where we will have the opportunity to come face to face and see each other and toast the wonderful success of our evening. And even more fun, we know that Gloria Steinem is going to join us for our Zoom Afterglow Live, and there will be the opportunity for you to either ask questions live or ask questions of her in the chat, however you feel most comfortable. But that's going to be a wonderful opportunity, and of course, a lot more inspiration coming your way. But right now, it's our opportunity to craft a bit of a special appeal. And yes, I am your auctioneer this evening, but we are not doing a live auction. So right now, this is my role, to facilitate and be the lightning rod for your generosity. So I'm going to make a big ask of you momentarily. But of course, if we want you to pledge, you need to know how to do it. So first, a little bit of instruction. If you look on your screen right now, you should see a green button. And if you want to make a pledge, we're going to start high and work our way down. So don't click quite yet. But if you want to make a pledge, all you need to do is click that green button. That's right, bidding is as simple as a single click. If you click the green button, you'll be bidding or pledging in the precise increment that we have prescribed. But if you choose instead to pledge even higher than the amount that we're asking for, you can hit the black button, and that will allow you to pledge an amount even higher than the increment that we're requesting. All right, so bidding is as simple as a single click. Now, I believe that many people simply will look away at sex trafficking and think, oh, that's somebody else's problem. That's somebody else's business to take care of. But you know what? That's not what's happening here tonight. No way. Tonight, you are the champions of these young women and children. Tonight, you are the heroes, feeding kids and creating lasting change. Tonight, at this moment, we will simply ask the question, how many? How many? How many kids do we want to help? How many can we assist tonight? Opportunities are presented to us every day to do good, to be the change that we want to see in the world. And that opportunity is before you right now. Apne Aap can't do this work alone, but we together certainly can. So, as I'm about to make a big ask of you, I want to preface it with this. If you work in an industry or profession that has remained strong in these uneven economic times, and you've had a pretty good year in your professional life, this would be a great place to share in that bounty. If you believe, like I do, that what we're doing here tonight is important, I'd like to invite you right now to click that green button if you would be willing and able to make a gift of $10,000 or more to support the incredibly important work of Apne Aap. And I look down and I see Connie Orjuela has given us a leadership gift of $10,000. Connie Orjuela, thank you so much. That is awesome. And Vinita Bilani, the amazing Vinita Bilani, my friend, has also jumped in with $10,000. Thank you so much, Vinita. That is awesome. That is awesome. Wonderful. Who else would like to jump in at $10,000 or more? $10,000 or more. By the way, with that, there have been some earlier pledges. Can I see these earlier pledges just so I can read the names of the people who have already given? Donna Deitch, Michelle Dempsey, Jessica Newworth, Swanee, Sunita N. Sorabji, Carol Flinders, Evelyn, lots of generosity. There's Barbara Felton. All right, lots of gifts already and putting us almost at $30,000 just getting started. Right now we're looking for gifts at $10,000 or more. Anybody want to step in with Connie Orjuela and Vinita Bilani at this $10,000 level or more? And if the answer to that question is or more, just click the black button and that will allow you to pledge whatever amount you'd like over that $10,000, be it $15,000, $20,000, whatever you'd like. Evelyn, love your comment in the chat. That is so wonderful. Who else would like to step up at this moment? Any more at this level, this leadership level of $10,000? Who would make a gift of $5,000 or more at this time? We already had one. Who was the person who pledged $5,000 earlier? Let me see that again. That was Donna Deitch. We had Donna lead off the $5,000 level, and here's Neha Vashi, who also steps up at the $5,000 level. Thank you so much, Neha Vashi. Who else would like to step up at $5,000 right now to counter the scourge of sex trafficking? Any more at $5,000? Do we have any more at this level? We're at almost $35,000. Who would like to step in at the $2,500 level? Do we have any pledges at the $2,500 level? Do we have any gifts right here? There was Swanee who made a gift of $2,500 earlier. Swanee was in. Who else would like to make a gift of $2,500 right now and match Swanee's generous pledge? Who would like to step in at $2,500? Do we have any more at this level? All right, let's go to $1,000. Let's go to our $1,000 level. We had Jessica Newworth with a pledge of $1,000. Who else would like to come in at $1,000? Who else would be willing and able to make a gift right now of $1,000? Do we have any pledges at this level? $1,000. All right, there is the amazing Catharine Mackinnon. Thank you so much, Catharine Mackinnon. We're grateful to you for all you do. Thank you. That is wonderful. There's $1,000 from Catharine Mackinnon. Who else would like to step in at $1,000? Who else? There's Mia Glass with a wonderful $1,000 pledge. Thank you so much, Mia Glass. Awesome. Who else at this $1,000 level? Who else? There's Jillian Ressler in at $1,000. Thank you so much, Jillian Ressler, stepping in with a whole lot of generosity. Puts us over $37,000 now. Who else wants to come in at $1,000? Who else? There's Basu Ratnam. Thank you so much, Basu. Awesome. There's another $1,000 gift from Basu Ratnam. We have Catharine Mackinnon, Mia Glass, Jillian Ressler, Basu Ratnam. Who else wants to come in at this $1,000 or more? Remember, if you want to do or more, just hit the black button, and you sure can. Who's going to come in at $1,000 at this time? Who else at $1,000? Do we have any more right here? Any more? The power to change lives. Every dollar is a meal. Every dollar feeds someone. It's awesome. Who else? Who else? Who would give at our $500 level? Who wants to come in at $500? Do we have any pledges at this $500 level? There was Michelle Dempsey, who kicked us off already earlier at $500. Who else? There's an anonymous gift of $500. Thank you. We honor you, your anonymity. Thank you for a $500 gift. And Diane Rosenfeld jumps in with $500. Thank you so much, Diane Rosenfeld. That's awesome. Who else wants to come in? Two more. It's going to put us over the $40,000 mark. Can we get to 50,000? Can we get to 50,000 tonight? We're almost at 40. We're almost at 40. Let's see if we can get to 50. Who else wants to come in at $500? Two more at $500 puts us over that $40,000 level. Who would like to have the honor of putting us over the $40,000 level? Who else at $500? Who else? All right, let's go to the $250. There's Farah John. Thank you so much, Farah John. Farah John just jumped on, and pledges $1,000. Thank you so much, Farah. That's wonderful. And that puts us over the $40,000 mark. That is awesome. That is awesome. Who wants to come in at $250 or more at this time? $250 or more. Who would like to make a pledge at this level? $250 or more. There is Romola Ratnam. Thank you so much, Romola Ratnam. Beautiful. There's 250. That puts us at 40,580. Who else wants to come in at $250 or more? Who else would like to come in at this level? 250 or more. Let's keep up the momentum. A lot of generosity in the house tonight. Feeling it. Who else wants to come in at 250? Who else? Any more at this level? All right, let's go to our final level of $100. Let's go to our final level of $100. And I'd like to say this. I know it hasn't been a great year for everyone. My guess is that pretty much everyone on this live stream would give $10,000 if they could. So what I'd like to kind of issue right now is a friendly challenge to every single person on this live stream to give something. And if you hit the black button, it will allow you to give $10, $20, $50, or hit the green button if you want to give $100. But right now, I'd like to encourage every single person on this live stream to give something. Every dollar counts in support of our efforts to feed vulnerable women and girls and fight sex trafficking. Who would pledge $100 or any amount at this time? There's Sunita and Sorabji, who jumps in once again, who's already made a pledge. Sunita circled back with more at 100. Carol Flinders circles back. Oh, those were the earlier ones. Those were the earlier hundreds. Evelyn jumped in with a wonderful gift. Those were the ones who kicked us off at this level. Who else would like to jump in at $100? Julia Mara jumps in with $100. And there's an anonymous gift of $100. Molly Burkholm says, I would give 100 million if I could, but 100 with all my heart. Awesome, Molly Burkholm. Thank you so much. We feel it with all your heart. That is beautiful. Thank you so much. And there are two anonymous gifts of $100, putting us at 40,880. Who else would like to jump in with any amount right now? We just want everyone to participate and give something. Like Molly, give with your heart. Any amount. Who would like to make a pledge at this time? Do we have any more of any amount right here? This will be our final call to make a gift this evening. Anybody else want to make a gift right here? Last call. Oh, there's Monica Eva Foster who jumps in with a wonderful gift. Thank you, Monica Eva Foster. And John Winkard who jumps in with a wonderful gift. Thank you, putting us over the $41,000 mark. Thank you so much. Anyone else want to jump in with a gift? There's another anonymous gift right now of $100. Keep them coming. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Every dollar is such an amazing gift and can make so much difference. Right now, we've got another one from Anonymous. Who else wants to jump in at $100 or any amount that you'd like. This is our last call, and we will bring this portion of our program to a close, but not before we get another anonymous gift right there of $100. We will bring this portion of our program to a close right now. Friends, you just added $41,280 to our fundraising efforts tonight. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah! Beautiful. Thank you so much. That is really terrific. A lot of generosity, a lot of support. All right. We're going to switch gears right now. We're going to bring a little bit of levity to our event this evening. We're going to play a game. And our game is called The Last Virtual Heroine. And the winner of our game will be crowned the queen or king of the Apne Aap virtual fundraiser. But of course, no crowning of a king or queen would be complete without a spectacular grand prize, fitting of a king or queen. So take a look at your screen right now, and we're going to show you what our grand prize winner will receive.
Filled with over 39 trillion gallons of pure Sierra snowmelt and pushed a mile into the Californian and Nevada skies, Lake Tahoe is the USA's largest alpine lake and one of the country's oldest year-round vacation playgrounds. Lake Tahoe has forever drawn travelers to its shores, from the Native Americans who called this place Big Water to the trappers, timber cutters, and pioneers who followed. In the 1870s, an awestruck Mark Twain wrote, "To breathe the same air as angels, you must go to Tahoe." By the time the 20th century rolled around, lodges, taverns, and casinos had sprung up all around Tahoe's shoreline, catering to legions of weary city folk keen to experience that heavenly air for themselves.
The grand prize for our game is 1 full week, 8 days, 7 nights, in a luxury vacation home at Incline Village, Lake Tahoe. This 4-bed, 4-bath luxury home is in Incline Village with a view of the lake out in California. It sleeps up to 10 guests, and it's nestled in the hills right behind Incline Village. It's within a short driving distance of 3 major ski resorts, championship golf courses, and of course the fabulous lake, all with easy access to the many, many village facilities and amenities, restaurants, shopping, gaming, all the wonderful nightlife that Lake Tahoe is very well known for in California. This is a value of $7,500, and it's made possible by the generosity of the wonderful Vanita Bellani. Thank you so much, Vanita, for making our grand prize available to us and donating this week at this spectacular vacation home. Okay, here's how this works. The goal or objective of the game is to make the last or final pledge. Now think about it. It's not who pledges most, like an auction, it's who pledges last. So there's a little bit of timing involved in this. You want to get in that last gift, but you want to be mindful of the fact that there's about a 2-second lag between what I say and what you hear. So if you try to be too fine about getting in that last pledge, you might miss out. So please just let it fly a little bit. Of course, it's all about raising money for an organization doing some incredibly life-giving work. So just let the pledges fly for our game a little bit, and that will help move it along and keep it entertaining too. Every pledge costs $50, and every pledge counts. So if you pledge $50 5 times, you're on the hook for $250. And truth be told, we kind of want you to be on the hook for $250. But just so you know, every pledge counts and will be in your checkout cart at the end of the night. We also may go up a level or two if there's a lot of activity. We could possibly take it to $100 or even $250. And the official moment of closure of our game will be when your auctioneer puts the letter D on the word sold. So it will sound something like this. Sold. When you hear that D, That will mark the closure of our game. Okay? You ready? Who wants to give us the first $50 pledge as a way of stating that they want to be the queen or king of the Apne Aap virtual event tonight? Who would like to be the king or queen? Sometimes it only takes one gift to do it. Sometimes the first one wins it all. Who would like to be the first to give us $50 and get us rolling in our game? Who would be the first one? Do we have any players out there? Who